When we kind of think about the bowl and where it is now, it's kind of fun to think about how this thing started. In 1968, George Crumley and 4 people from the Atlanta Lions Club decided to go to NCAA and get certification for a bowl. And then from there, they had no staff. I think there was 6 staff in total, and 8 volunteers. That was it. And we put on bowl games. Fulton County Stadium was not built for football.
The weather, think about the weather.
Yeah,
all those years with rain, sleet, the fans hated it, the sponsors weren't excited about it, and the game really struggled. We had some great football games, but the fans and the sponsors really struggled to the point where we almost went under in the early to mid 80s.
What we consider the modern era of the bowl really started after the bowl affiliated with the Metro Atlanta Chamber of Commerce, and we've always sort of thought of it in terms of 4 real milestone events. The first of them was 1991, our first national TV contract with ESPN, which obviously you know what that can do for you. 1992, moving out of Fulton County Stadium in the weather and moving into a beautiful new Georgia Dome, which was fantastic. Also in 92 was the first time we created a conference affiliation with the ACC and the SEC.
And that conference affiliation was huge. Both conferences, big fan bases in Atlanta, drove ticket sales, both really strong conferences in the national picture every year. I mean, it was really great. But the last milestone, Chick-fil-A coming on board, was huge as the title sponsor.
Well, and it was huge for our brand too. And as the story has it, Steve Robinson, our chief marketing officer, was at the game with his wife, Diane. And she said, I wonder what this game could be if Chick-fil-A got behind it. And that sparked an idea that went through our executive committee all the way up to Truett Cathy to get support. And of course, the rest is history. The Chick-fil-A became a title partner shortly thereafter.
All that time though, we sort of had our eyes on a bigger prize, which was, let's not just be the best non-BCS bowl game, but there's got to be something greater for us.
But it wasn't until April of 2013 when the college football playoff came into being when we got invited to bid to move up to the big time. Well, I know you remember, Albert, we had 45 days and there were all these issues we had to address relating to the stadium, so the Falcons had to be involved. We had to get the ACVB involved on the hotels. We had to worry about the city, the state. There were a lot of stakeholders, the sports council, everyone had to come together, and pulling that together so quickly was a lot of work.
It was a lot of work, and we needed them to make our bid successful.
Yeah, and it's one of those iconic moments that just sticks in your memory that Gary Stokan, our president and CEO, and we're out in Pasadena at our annual bowl meetings, and I got a picture on my phone of Gary taking the call from Michael Kelly at the College Football Playoff Group, giving us the good news, telling us congratulations, Chick-fil-A Peach Bowl, you're in.
It's very, very exciting, and it won because of this community. It won because of the history of this bowl in terms of its attendance, in terms of its ratings, but also in terms of its commitment to the student-athlete experience and the fan experience that have been, their record on that has been off the charts. And
we're able to stand here today and officially announce that Atlanta is, and the Chick-fil-A Bowl is, a part of the new college football playoff.
It's a total brand makeover.
And so we wanted to go back to that big game feel. We are now part of the college football playoff, and so we wanted to treat it that way. And so that logo needed to reflect it. And then the unveiling. The unveiling was a really cool event because you kind of had the old, and we literally dropped a banner that the old logo fell and the new one was behind it. And it was a neat moment because you had all the partners there.
Well, once we got that new logo and that new brand and it all got unveiled, as you said, the real work began. It's not just ACC and SEC national matchups.
Top
10 teams. So
that was some pressure.
It was, and our expectation of ourselves also elevates. And we felt like we don't need to just meet that, we need to meet and exceed it. So our goal suddenly stopped becoming be the best non-BCS bowl game. It became, how do we now become the best of all these playoff bowls?
Well, one thing I think that we have to be proud of as a bowl is the fact that we are known and synonymous for our hospitality. And so now that we're in the college playoff system, we wanted to make sure that everything and every person that came to town, that they were experiencing our bowl on a much higher level.
I think one thing that we've done so well here, probably that we've done better than any other bowl, is we've really taken time to take care of not just the teams and the coaches, but the families. The university families, the wives, the children, and I just don't think any other bowl does it like we do.
And I heard that bowl week.
Well, we always think with one mind between Chick-fil-A and Peach Bowl Inc., and so people think that Chick-fil-A Peach Bowl is Chick-fil-A and vice versa. And so when we think about the service and hospitality, it's something that we actually get more compliments on in our restaurants than even the food. And so it's just a natural extension that our bowl game should have that same sort of hospitality.
You know, we didn't win the game, but I think the experience will mean so much to our players when they look back 5, 10, 20, 40 years from now and say we played in the first ever New Year's Six bowl game as part of the college football playoff.
Anytime you do anything with the Chick-fil-A people, it's going to be first class, so I expected nothing less, and certainly wasn't disappointed in all the accommodations and the dinners and the entertainment that they provided our team.
Go to the Chick-fil-A Peach Bowl. It's the best experience in college football.
I think that what we've learned over the course of time is that volunteerism is about relationships, and that we do an excellent job of making sure that all of the volunteers that are a part of this event feel appreciated, feel a part, and feel as though they're making a contribution. We utilize over 400 people to run this particular event.
We have volunteers that have been here for, up to some of them more than 40 years, and they come back, they like you said, they take time off work, time away from their families after Christmas, and there's just something so unique and so special about this bowl that keeps people coming back.
And if you think about memories, what creates a memory? It's an experience. And so the hallmark of our game is about experiences, remarkable experiences for everyone that comes to it, whether that be players or fans or coaches, but it's all about experiences.
But in a lot of ways, our mission is focused on the players. They've played their tails off all year to get there, and we view the bowl week experience as a reward for that, their great play and getting there.
In my opinion, it was first class all the way, from the hotel experience to the practice field experience to the game day experience and everything in between. The memorable moments, I think, for our team, our players, our staff, our coaches, our fans, I think will live for a long time to come.
You see the great history of college football. They've done some things that will last our kids a lifetime in terms of memories. And outside of the game, tremendous experience.
From the time that we stepped out there and met those guys, they showed us with great hospitality and nothing like I've been before. Been to a couple of the bowl games. I mean, they treated us probably one of the best, and we had
some of the events that they attend bowl week are the Children's Hospital visit. That's always going to leave a lasting impression on these players.
Yeah, I mean, the MLK visit always draws rave reviews, and Dr. Vivian speaking from that personal perspective really has an impact.
And what makes that event unique is that this is the one event where both teams come together to hear that story, which is powerful because a lot of these kids don't really know the story of Dr. King and his struggles through this time frame. So it gives them a chance to really learn and hear about a time that was very important to this country.
What we've really tapped into is the emotion of 18, 19, 20-year-olds, football players who love to compete with each other, right? And that's why we created the Battle for Bowl Week, where we've taken all these experiences at all these events throughout the week and tied them together in 5 competitions. So they have the Xbox competition where they play Madden against each other. You have the Chick-fil-A milkshake making competition where they make different flavors of Chick-fil-A milkshakes. They race go-karts at Andretti and compare their times to each other. They compete on video games and pop a shot at Dave & Buster's. And then ultimately, it all culminates with the family feud, the football feud at that last event of bowl week. And inevitably, it comes down where it's 2-2 in points, and that last event decides everything. And the winner, other than pride, takes home a real legit Chick-fil-A Peach Bowl Battle for Bowl Week championship belt. And you'd think that was as valuable as the game trophy to see these guys.
And let me tell you, I saw it this year when I was presenting the trophy. One of the captains comes up and he's got the belt on. And the ESPN reporter says, "What is that?" And he says, "We didn't just win the game, we won the Battle for Bowl Week."
Right.
Yeah.
Well, now that we've gone through bowl week and all the events for the players and the coaches, then we're down to game day. And now it's all about the fans.
And so what we want to do is fill the day with experiences. And we start off with the parade down Peachtree Street, which is about the pageantry of the game, the pageantry of those two teams, having the bands of the teams, and the mascots, just some way to stoke up that passion of the fans, and it works.
Yeah, and really when the parade concludes, it's at FanFest. And FanFest is, for us, the preeminent fan event of the week. It's as though you could take every single individual element that fans love, whether it's bands, cheerleaders, foods, games, giveaways, teams, and you cram it all into one 4-hour event that just amps the energy, amps the excitement, and really tees things up for the penultimate event, which is the team walk.
I mean, I've had a number of coaches that have brought teams to our game that have said, we've never experienced anything like this. What they do is they walk through FanFest, and it's lined with their fans, cheering, going crazy, and they say that's really unique.
And it's really loud.
And we really liked the fan walk that we did coming in. We prepared our kids for it, and that was a lot of fun. Getting to show, it's big time football. And so I think any time that you get a chance to live in the moment, I think everybody's going to be something that they're always going to remember for the rest of their lives.
The atmosphere in the Georgia Dome was very electric because all the Rebel Nation showed up, just like I knew they would.
It was a college football playoff game. There's no question about that.
So we get in there and it's time for kickoff, and it's a historic moment. We are in the New Year's Six, and we're the first game to go.
We had the best matchup in the history of the game. Number 9 versus number 6. You had one of the top offenses in the country against one of the top defenses in the country. And really, when it came down to it, TCU showed up, didn't they?
Whew. TCU came in ready to play, and they really put on a show.
Basically, we tried to push the tempo. We wanted to go fast. I mean, they have a great defense. The heart of the soul was the D-line, and we came in the game knowing that. So we just tried to play as fast as possible and execute it to the best of our abilities.
I think, probably just seeing our kids enjoy themselves so much on the podium, I think is probably the best part because, they're the ones that do all the work. And sometimes, you wonder if you're able to give them back as much as what they put into it. And so them getting a chance to have fun and enjoying that whole experience at the end was a lot of fun for me.
Well, it's an incredible sense of accomplishment to see this bowl that almost died in the mid-'80s to have risen, succeeded, and now be at the absolute top, the pinnacle of college football, being part of the playoffs. And we clearly rode on the backs of lots of people that aren't here, but the team that is here now and that has helped us put this game together and make it special, I mean, it's amazing. It's just an amazing sense of accomplishment.